Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Keith with Craps TX. Thank you as always for tuning in. And as always, hit that thumbs up for us, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified when the next video comes out. So I'm going to stick with the $10 table strategies, and this one's kind of going to go back a few years to a video that I've seen on Jeremy's channel, Color Up. There's his banner right there. Be sure and go check his channel out. Lots of good learning type strategies. And actually this one he was playing from somebody else. Can't remember the gentleman's name right now, but I'll put his name down there as well and link his channel. Sorry, just saw a little something on the table there. I got to keep the table clean, man. It's a very, I guess, just a low kind of bankroll strategy. We're going to start out with $300. I've got $60 set aside per shooter, and that's all we're going to use per shooter. Even if they 7 out after PSO or whatever, we're just going to take the rest of that money, put it in the back rack here, and move on to the next one. So I've got $300 set up here, and what we want to do, we're not going to be the shooter. We're just going to wait for a point to be set, and then we're going to play the 6 and the 8, and we'll place one come bet for $10. Say that come bet travels to one of the other numbers. We're going to place one more come bet because we want 4 points working for us at all time. Wherever that one travels to, then we're done placing bets, and then we're starting to collect. And we'll collect along the way as well. Once we get to kind of even with that particular shooter, or maybe a little bit ahead, then you can start placing odds on your come bets, pointing at the 5 and 9, like they're going to go to the 5 and 9. But just in case, wherever they go to, then you'll start placing odds to it. So let's just roll it out. It's a lot easier to do it that way than to sit here and talk about it for 5 minutes. So like I said, we're not going to be the shooter. This is a $10 table. Just a easy type strategy. I think it's called like a heat seeker strategy or something like that. Let's get us a couple dice there. We got the green dice. Hopefully they're showing up on camera. I think they do. So yeah, let's go. Let's get started. Coming out, looking for a point, and we've got a 5-2-7. Doesn't help us, doesn't hurt us. That's a frontline winner. Nice out. And we have a 4-1-5. 5 will be our point. So we're going to take 25 out of our 60 of that first shooter. Place it in the come. Dealer, please set me up on the 6 and 8. He'll take that 25, give you $1 change, and set you up $10 and then $12. So $12 on each. And like I said, we got that $1 change there. So now we place our come bet. And we've got a total of, what is that, $34 invested. All right, so dice are out. All right, there is a hard 10. So this is going to travel up to the 10. That is now a come bet up there. And we'll place one more come bet. All right, so we're now in for $44. And dice are out. All right, we got another hard 10. So this is just off and on. If you want to see it actually happen, this will come down. You'll get paid. This will go up. So basically, we could have just left that there and just paid the 10, which is most likely what they'll do anyway in a casino. So there's $10. We'll go ahead and put that back behind that shooter and try not to touch it because it is winning money. All right, we have a 5-4-9. So this one is going to travel up to the 9. We now have our 4 points, and we are done placing bets, at least until we get built up a little bit and then possibly start placing odds on our come bets. All right, 3-2-5. 5 is our point. That is going to go off, and bets are off. However, the come bets are working. They're always working. Dice out. We have a 3-2-5. We're right back on the 5 for the point, and dice are out. Hard 6. Okay, that's a good one. That's going to pay us 14 there. 12 pays 14. And we'll place that back behind here. Keep that going. I apologize for my voice if you kind of notice that it's not quite as deep as it normally is, but it's kind of been cutting out lately for some sinus issues, I guess. 5-4-9. All right, that is our come bet. So that is going to travel down there. That's going to get paid $10. We'll take that 10, place it in our rack back here. And we're still making money from this shooter. So shooter number 1's doing fairly well. Dice are out. There is a 145. That is point. Points hit. This will travel up to the 5. We now have our 4 bets placed for us. And the bets are off when the puck is off, except for the come bets. Come bets are always working, like I said a while ago. All right, we have a hard 4. 4 is going to be our point, and we're just going to continue on with this shooter. Let's go. He's doing good so far. There is a 3-2-5. That is one of our come bets. So that's going to come down. That's going to get paid $10, and we'll put that back behind. And let's see, what do we have? 10, 20, 30, 40, 55, almost $60. So we're almost back to even for this shooter. Let's see if we can't get another hit or two. There is a 6-2-8. So this is going to travel to the 8. And then that's going to get paid $14. And now you see we have 2 bets there. So we really don't want that. I mean, you can leave it like that if you want. You can place it on another number if you want. But what we're going to do, we're just going to take that down and put the 10 in the come. And we'll take that $2 and keep it. All right. So that way, I mean, you can have the 3 come bets and a place bet. It's no big deal. That's fine. Just as long as you got 4 points of bets out there. So there's a 12 craps. All right. So that's going to hurt us. That is a loser right there in the come. And we still have our 3 points. So we're just going to have to stick with that. Or no, we still have money over here. So yeah, we can pull another come bet out. I was not looking at the front rack. I was looking at the back rack. All right. There is a 5-1-6. Okay, so kind of the same instance here. This will travel up to the 6, and then we'll get paid on that 14, or let's just do 15 for 1. They'll ask you for $1, like that, and that way you got reds that you're keeping there. That'll go in that back rack, and let's see. Do we need? Yeah, we can get $10 off of there for another come bet, and then we'll rack this too. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. I'm starting to get a little too much white chips back there. So that is 5 for 5. And then I got another 5. And they just fell down for another 5. All right, so yeah, we've got a pretty good amount there. We could actually place odds on our come bets. And honestly, we could have left, yeah, since that's still a winner, we could, well, I was going to say we could place one of these back. We can't remove these. These are contract bets. Those are all contract bets. This one, though, we could have done something with. I don't know if we want 4 come bets or not, but we'll just stick with it like that. I'm not going to sit here and fret over it. I didn't see that situation come up in the video that I watched, so I don't know exactly what to do there. But let's just keep going because we're winning. So 5-1-6 is what I meant to say. So that'll travel up here, that'll travel down there and get paid. So that's off and on. All right, so now what we're going to do before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and place some odds on, let's just place them on the 6 and the 8, and it's just going to be single odds. So since we got a little bit of money back there, we'll go ahead and do that for this shooter since it's been kind of hot so far. And there is a 4-2-6. All right. So again, that's going to travel up there. This will travel down and get paid 10 on the flat bet, and then pays, what, 6 to 5 on that. So that is another 12. And I'm running out of red chips. Bad problem to have. Or a good problem to have, I guess you could say. All right, so that is that for that particular sequence of events there. Let's swap out some of these red and get us a green. There's 5 red for a green. Keep that shooter going there. All right, so we'll just leave it as is. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get that. Oh, there we go. That's it, 6-1-7. All right, so we'll get paid on that down there. We lose these up here. And we move on to the next shooter. Let's go ahead and get this racked up. We'll count that up later. However, excuse me one second. I like to kind of keep it tidy, so let me get some of these out of there. There's 5. for another green chip. That way I've got room to set all that in there. There we go. All right, let's go on to shooter number 2. Again, we're not the shooter, so we're just going to wait for a point to be set. And we got 3 craps. Doesn't help us there. There's 2 craps. All right, the good side. If you're playing the dark side, you're doing well right now. And a 6, 4, 10. So 10 will be our point. We're going to take our $25, throw it out there in the come. Dealer, please place the 6 and 8 for me. He'll take that from you, give you $1 change, and get that 6 and 8 placed. That is 10 in red, and then 2 in white. So you got $12 on each, $24. And then we got to place our $10 come bet, right? Right. All right. So there we go. All right, shooter number 2. Let's go. And we're not going to go very far at all. There's a 5, 2, 7. All right, so we're going to lose the 6 and the 8. But we win on that come bet there because that's like the pass line. So $10 on that shooter. And that's going to be it for him or her. Like I said, we're just going to do 60 per shooter. So we're just going to take that, put it back with this, and we're going to move that to the back rack. That shooter's done. All right, puck is off. Let's go ahead and just get another set of dice for the heck of it. Let's take that 5, 3, 8. Excuse me. Dice are out. There is a boxcars, 12 midnight, all the dots, no help. This will work though. Hard 10. 10 will be our point. And we will then throw out our $25, like we said earlier, and ask the dealer to place the 6 and 8. We'll give you $1 change. Get that 6 and 8 placed. And then $10 for our come bet. All right, shooter number 3, dice are out. 4, 2, 6. All right, so this will travel to the 6. We'll get paid on that. 12 pays $14. And what we'll do there is just take that 10, place it there. And let's see, we'll get that 4 there. We'll actually swap that out. There's 5 for 5. We're gonna have to figure out something to do up here. Yeah, because we don't necessarily want that. I guess I could have kept that. Whoa. Yeah, we can just take that down. We'll put that in the come, and then we'll keep this over here ready to go. Yeah. All right. Nice out. Let's just keep going and quit playing with the chips. All right, there's another 6, so that's off and on. And that'll pay $10. Put that in the back rack. I think I should have put that other 10 back there too, but yeah. We still need 4 points altogether. There's a 5, 4, 9, so that'll be our 3rd point. That'll travel up to the 9. We'll then take $10 and set up in the come once again. All right, nice out. And there is a 6, 5 yo. That is a front line, or actually middle line now, winner. So that's $10. Put that in the back rack. Dice out. And 5, 1, 6. That's another win, off and on. Pays $10. Put that in the back. Dice out. 6, 3, 9. There's another off and on. So another $10. You can see if you can get a good shooter, it's fairly, can be fairly fun, piling up a little bit of money. All right, we got a 4, 1, 5, so that's going to travel to the 5. We now have our 4 points. Yeah, we don't have quite enough yet to start playing odds, so we'll just keep going with this shooter the way it is. We got a little bit of a leaner there, but it is a 6, 3, 9. So this will come down. It'll get paid. Whoa, we need some more red. I'll have to swap some out here in a minute. That's going to get paid. So we'll rack that and get our 4th point back up there again. Dice are out. 3 craps. Okay, so we're going to lose there. That's going to come down. We'll go ahead and replace it with the front part of the rack here with that shooter's money. And try to get our 4th point. Nice out. 6, 5 yo. There we go. We'll get it back. There's our $10. That pays 10 on that. Kind of like the front line. All right. Dice are out. and a 4, 3, 7 out. All right, so we lose these. Whoops, but we win right there again because it's like playing the pass line on the come out roll. And that's it for that shooter. We'll put this back behind. I'm going to have to swap some of these out here because I'm running low on red. So there's 5, 10, 15. Okay, so that'll give us 5, 10, 15. Yep, there's 3 green. So we'll put that there. We'll move the rest of those chips back behind. That was there. And we'll go on to shooter number 4. Dice are out or coming out. Puck is off. Looking for a point. We have a 4, 1, 5. 5 will be our point. Again, $25. Throw it out there. Dealer, please set me up. 6 and 8. We'll do that. Give you a $1 change and get you set up. And then we also want to take $10 and put it down there in combat. All right, you can place that one yourself. You just set it there and leave it there. And that's your combat. All right, we got a hard 8. Okay, so this will travel up to the 8. Then we'll get paid 14 on that. Let's do 15 for 1. There's $15. All right, and we'll take that and we'll just put that in the back rack as a winning. We'll go ahead and just move this down because we don't want 2 bets on the same. I mean, you can if you want, but the way he did it, he went ahead and took it down. So we'll keep those $2 right there and try to get our 3rd point up here. Nice out. 6, 2, 8. Okay, not a bad problem to have. That's off and on, 1 and 1, whatever you want to call it. Wins $10. That's the most important part. Dice are out. There we go. Another 8, hard 8. Another off and on. Another $10. Nice out. And there we go. 8. The 8's I like 8s. I think you guys know that if you've been watching any of my videos. So that's another off and on. I will take the wins on 8 any day. Whoa. All right. Nice out. And there's 3 craps. Okay. That does not do us any good. We're going to lose that there. We can take another 10. From the front part of that rack, since we're using 60 per shooter. Replace it. There's a 6, 4, 10. All right, so that'll travel up to the 10, and then we need 1 more point here. We've got just enough, and that leaves us like $7 with this shooter. Dice out. All right, we have a 3, 1, 4, so that'll travel up there. And we're now set, so that's all we're going to bet. So we've got to hit one of these numbers, hopefully. There is a 4, 1, 5. Well, that's a number that hit, but that's the putt, and that's going off. That was a point, rather. Putt goes off. Now we need another point. 6, 4, 10. The come bets are always working. Our place bet was off. So that is going to travel down and get paid, actually. So there we go. $10 go in the back rack, and we still need our 4th point. So we're going to leave that there. 6, 2, 8. Again, off and on. Lovely. Lovely. Like to see it. All right, nice out. 6, 4, 10. All right, so that is point hit. That is also going to travel. That come bet's traveling up to the 10. Bets are off, or our place bet's off, our come bets are working. Nice out. 3, 2, 5. Okay, we found the hole. So there is our new point, and we are working everywhere now. 5, 4, 9. We found the other hole right there. It's funny how that happens sometimes, but I have hit a lot of numbers, so excuse me, I'm not going to complain. There's 3 craps. No help. And there is a hard 10. All right, so that's going to travel down. That's going to get paid $10. And we've done fairly well with this shooter so far. So what we could do is go ahead and place, we'll do 1 odds bet at least on that 8 there. And we'll just go from there. Nice out. There is a 5, 1, 6. Okay, so this will travel up to the 6. This 6 is going to get paid. 12 pays 14, or we'll do 15 for 1. Makes it a little easier. Don't end up with a lot of singles over there. Let's see. That'll go back behind for the winnings. We'll take this down. we'll go ahead and put that out for our fourth point, and we'll hang on to those two white chips there, singles. Nice out. 6, 4, 10. Okay, so this is going to travel up here. Okay, we now have our 4 points, and they are all come bets. We could do one more odds. Let's go ahead and just take the two most popular numbers, the 6 and the 8. Of course, the 4 and the 10 pay better in odds, but 6 and 8 are more likely to hit than the 4 and the 10. So that's my logic for reasoning there, or reasoning for logic, or whatever you want to call it. 2 craps. That does not help us. Nice out. And a 6, 1, 7, and we're done with that shooter. All right, so that was shooter number 4. Let's go on to the 5th shooter. We'll take the rest of these. Again, let me make a little change here since we're kind of got a pile. Here, let's take them out. It's a little bit easier that way. There's 5, 10, and 15. So that's 3 green chips. And that'll help us out, keeping that condensed. Okay, so we're down to our 5th shooter. I think we're doing okay so far. We'll see once we add everything up. We started out with 300. We're looking for a point. There is a 5, 1, 6. So 6 is going to be our point. Since we weren't the shooter, we'll still play that 6 and 8 on a place bet. So throw that out there. Dealer, please set me up. $12 on each, and he'll give you $1 change. And get that set up for you. There is 10 and 10, 2 and 2. Nice out. Oh, there's a quick one. All right, so that is it. We're not even going to get past that place bet there. Oh, I didn't even set that come bet. Okay, just to keep it the way that it should have been. I'm not trying to cheat or anything here. We should have had that come bet there. Okay, so we would have lost these, but we would have won on that. I'm not trying to CYA or anything, but yeah, no, I mean, you can't do that at a casino if you didn't have that out there yet. I just got a little ahead of myself and did not place that bet, so sue me. I'm just trying to show you how this works, and I should have show you. I want to show you how it works correctly. I don't want to show you a mistake, which I did make that mistake. So anyway, so let's go ahead and count this up. Like I said, we started out with $300, so let's split all this out here and see what we got. I might fast forward through this for y'all so it's not so painfully slow to watch me count chips. Fine chips. Okay, so if I did fast forward, we're now slowed back down, and I've condensed the chips down. So let's see where we're at. We've got 4, 4, 4. There's our 300. So we started out with 3, and then we got 75, 80, 85, 86, 386. So $86 made on that. It is a slow burn. Kind of keeps you at the table for a little bit, and you know, if you're kind of a novice still, you know, you kind of get to learn how those come bets work, and you know, you're playing that 6 and 8 with your place bets, so that's your bread and butter there, just to make a little bit of money in the meantime. Of course, you can play any other numbers you want. That's just the way that particular strategy was set up. The heat-seeking strategy by, I think it was Heavy Haltom was the guy's name. It seems to come back to mind now. If it is, I'll have his name down there and see if I can't link it. Yeah, so let me know what you think down in the comments. Any other $10 strategies you'd like to see? I'll start kind of mixing in some $15 strategies again as well. I know there's still some $15 and $25 tables out there, but there are some $10 tables starting to sneak in, and I've heard Vegas is even getting a few more $5 tables. So that's nice. If you want to go out there and have some fun and be a low roller, you can low roll your little heart out. All right, so cool deal. Here is our email right here, crapstx@gmail.com. If you want to leave us a message semi-anonymously, and if you got a question or anything like that, I'll answer it for you or find the answer. I did say, I think, you know, if you got any comments or anything, put that down below, any kind of strategies you want to see. Check out the descriptions below. There's some links down there. It should be self-explanatory. I'm not going to sit here and explain it every time. We thank you so much for watching. The channel is CrapsTX. My name is Keith. We'll see you on the next one. Puck is off.